An old man sat quietly on a park bench, watching children laugh and people rush past him. A young stranger sat beside him and asked a simple question: "If you could live your life again, what would you change?" The old man smiled sadly. He didn't say he wished he had made more money. He didn't say he wished he had become more famous. He didn't even say he wished he had avoided failure. After a long silence, he whispered, "I wish I had stopped wasting my life waiting for the perfect time to live." Years had disappeared while he waited. He waited to feel ready. He waited for confidence. He waited for success. He waited for happiness. But time never waited for him. What if you're making the same mistake? What if your greatest loss isn't money, relationships, or opportunities, but the ordinary days you're allowing to quietly disappear? Tonight, we'll explore one of the most uncomfortable truths in Stoic philosophy. Most people don't lose their lives all at once. They lose them one ordinary day at a time. Most people believe a wasted life is easy to recognize. They imagine someone who never had a career, never achieved success, or never accomplished anything meaningful. But the Stoics saw something far more dangerous. A wasted life can look successful from the outside. A person may have money, status, and recognition, yet still feel as though they never truly lived. Why? Because they spent years chasing expectations instead of purpose. They postponed joy until the next promotion. They delayed peace until they earned more money. They believed life would finally begin after reaching the next milestone, but each milestone simply created another. Seneca warned that people are not given a short life, they make it short by wasting most of it. The greatest tragedy is not dying young. The greatest tragedy is reaching old age and realizing you were too busy preparing to live that you never actually lived. Imagine a young man who dreams of starting his own business. Every year, he tells himself the same story. "I'll begin when I have more experience. I'll begin when I save more money. I'll begin when the timing is perfect." 10 years pass. His dream remains exactly where it started, in his imagination. Nothing stopped him except delay. This is how life quietly slips away. Not through dramatic disasters, but through ordinary postponements repeated day after day. The Stoics believed procrastination is more than a bad habit. It is a silent thief. It steals opportunities before they are even attempted. It convinces people they have unlimited tomorrows, even though tomorrow has never been promised to anyone. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, commanded armies, and carried responsibilities that most people could never imagine. Yet, in his private journal, he rarely wrote about power or victory. Instead, he constantly reminded himself of one uncomfortable truth. Every sunrise brought him one day closer to death. This thought did not make him fearful. It made him focused. He understood that time was the only possession that could never be replaced. Money could be earned again. Reputation could be rebuilt. Even broken relationships could sometimes be healed, but a single wasted day was gone forever. That is why Marcus refused to live as though he had endless tomorrows. He treated each ordinary day as a gift that demanded intention. The Stoics believed that when you remember life is temporary, your priorities become clearer. You stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter and begin investing it in what truly does. Many people assume they are living because their hearts are beating and their schedules are full. But being busy is not the same as being alive. A person can spend decades moving from one obligation to another without ever asking a simple question: is this the life I truly want? They wake up, they work, they scroll through endless content, they complain, they sleep, then they repeat the same routine tomorrow. Weeks become months, months become years. Slowly, life transforms into habit instead of purpose. The danger is that routines feel comfortable. They rarely announce themselves as a trap. They simply become normal. The Stoics warned against this unconscious way of living. They believed the greatest loss was not physical death, but reaching the end of life and realizing you spent most of it on autopilot, never fully awake to the precious time you were given. One of the greatest illusions people believe is that they have plenty of time. Young people often say, "I'll start next year." Adults say, "I'll focus on myself after work becomes less stressful." Older people say, "I wish I had started sooner." Every stage of life finds a new excuse to delay what truly matters, but time never negotiates. It never pauses while you figure things out. Every hour you postpone becoming the person you want to be is an hour that quietly disappears forever. Seneca wrote that people carefully protect their money, yet waste the one thing far more valuable, their time. They become angry when someone steals a few dollars, but willingly surrender years to distractions, fear, and indecision. The Stoics believed that every morning should remind us of a simple truth: today is not guaranteed, and because it isn't, today deserves your full attention. Think about how often you tell yourself, just one more day. Just one more day before exercising. Just one more day before apologizing. Just one more day before starting that dream. These small delays seem harmless because they happen one at a time. But life is not stolen in giant pieces. It is stolen in tiny moments that feel insignificant until they accumulate into years. The old man on the park bench did not wake up one morning realizing he had wasted his life. He realized it after thousands of ordinary days slipped silently into the past. This is why the Stoics treated every day with urgency, not panic, but purpose. They understood that the quality of your life is determined by what you repeatedly choose to do today, not by what you hope to do someday. There is a story about a traveler who spent his entire life collecting maps. He owned the finest maps ever drawn. He studied every road, every mountain, and every destination. People admired his knowledge and asked him for directions. But there was one tragic detail. He never actually began the journey. He was so busy preparing for life that he forgot to live it. Many people unknowingly become that traveler. They read books but never apply the lessons. They watch motivational videos but never take action. They wait until they feel ready, forgetting that readiness is often created through action itself. The Stoics believed wisdom was never meant to remain inside books or thoughts. Wisdom becomes meaningful only when it changes the way you live. Knowledge without action is like owning a map but refusing to take the first step. One day, the young stranger returned to the same park bench, hoping to see the old man again, but the bench was empty. Days later, he learned that the old man had passed away. Suddenly, their conversation echoed louder than ever before. "I wish I had stopped wasting my life waiting." Those words became impossible to ignore. For the first time, he understood that death does not only arrive for the elderly, it quietly walks beside every human being from the moment they are born. This realization did not fill him with fear. It filled him with urgency. He stopped postponing difficult conversations. He stopped delaying meaningful goals. He stopped living as though time were unlimited. The Stoics called this memento mori, remember that you will die, not to create despair, but to remind you that every ordinary day is extraordinary simply because it exists. From that moment on, the young man made a simple promise to himself. He would no longer measure life by the number of years he lived, but by the number of days he truly experienced. He understood that a meaningful life is not built through dramatic transformations overnight. It is built through small decisions repeated consistently. One honest conversation, one courageous choice, 1 hour spent learning instead of scrolling, one step taken despite fear. These moments seem insignificant when viewed alone, yet together they shape an entire lifetime. The Stoics believed that destiny is not created by grand events, but by daily habits. Every sunrise quietly asks the same question: will you spend today living or merely existing? The tragedy is that most people don't realize they are wasting their lives until they no longer have enough time to change them. They believe they are simply passing through another ordinary week, another ordinary month, another ordinary year. But life is never lived in years. It is lived in days. And every day asks the same silent question: what will you do with me? Some answer with purpose, others answer with distraction. They trade meaningful moments for endless scrolling. They postpone conversations that matter. They ignore dreams that continue knocking on the door of their hearts. Then one day, they look back and wonder where all the time went. The Stoics believed that life does not disappear suddenly. It slips away quietly while we are busy believing we always have more of it. Seneca once observed that people guard their possessions with great care, yet they hand away their time as though it has no value. Imagine someone stealing $10 from your wallet. You would notice immediately. But what about 3 hours lost to meaningless distractions? Or another year spent waiting for the right moment? Most people never question these losses because time leaves silently. It asks for nothing in return. It simply moves forward. Every sunrise is both a gift and a reminder. A gift because you have another chance to live intentionally. A reminder because one day the number of sunrises you have left will run out. The Stoics did not fear this truth. They used it to awaken themselves from complacency. Imagine reaching the end of your life and being offered one final gift. A single ordinary day. Not a day filled with luxury, not a day without problems. Just one more sunrise, one more chance to tell someone you love them, one more opportunity to begin the dream you kept postponing, one more walk beneath the sky you barely noticed. Most people would treasure that day beyond measure. Yet today, you already possess what they would desperately wish for: another ordinary day. The Stoics believed wisdom begins when you stop treating ordinary days as if they are guaranteed. Gratitude is not reserved for extraordinary moments. It is found in recognizing that the present moment itself is extraordinary because it will never come again. The question is not whether today is special. The question is whether you are awake enough to see that it is. The old man's words remained with the young stranger for the rest of his life. Whenever he caught himself saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," he remembered the empty bench in the park. He remembered that tomorrow is an idea, but today is a reality. Slowly, his life began to change. He stopped chasing the perfect moment and started creating meaningful ones. He accepted that mistakes were better than endless hesitation. He understood that courage is not waiting until fear disappears. Courage is choosing to act while fear is still present. This is what the Stoics wanted us to understand. You do not control how long you will live, but you do control whether the time you are given is spent with intention or wasted through delay. Every day is quietly asking you to decide. One day, someone else will sit where you once stood. They will continue the conversations you can no longer have. They will chase dreams you no longer have time to pursue. The world will move on, just as it always has. That is not meant to make you afraid. It is meant to remind you of something beautiful. This moment is priceless because it will never exist again. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait until you feel completely ready. Don't wait until life forces you to realize what truly matters. Start today. Live today. Because the greatest tragedy is not that life is short. The greatest tragedy is realizing too late that you had enough time. You simply didn't use it well. If this message spoke to you, subscribe for more lessons from Stoic philosophy. And remember, time will pass whether you choose to live fully or not.